Today's webinar, How to Approach Agri-Food Market. This is the first webinar of the TRACK webinar series. TRACK is an European project co-funded by the COSME program of the European Union. TRACK is at the crossroads of the two smart digitalization platforms for industrial modernization and agri-food platform. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Rocío de la Rosa, and I will be your speaker during the next hour. I am working as a consultant in the Business Development Department here at the Technological Corporation of Andalusia. We are a multi-sectoral cluster located in Spain, in the south of Spain, Seville. Today I'm going to share with you a common vision of the challenge to face and the bottlenecks to the adoption of new technologies in the agri-food sector and how to improve your business, increase your innovation and improve your international business plan. Before starting, some indications. Firstly, we'd love to hear from you during today's presentation. If you have further questions, please feel free to send it through the chat window in this platform, and I will be answering your questions at the end of this webinar. If you don't get to your question during today's webinar, we will be sure to follow up afterwards. Secondly, today's webinar will be available on demand after the live session, and also the webinar will be accessible and public. It will be uploaded in the TRACK official website. You will watch it later as many times as you want. Thirdly, for the best development of the webinar, please keep your microphones turned off. And last, we'd like to encourage you to share today's webinar with your social networks. So without any further, let's begin. Okay. Sorry all, we have some technical problems, and I think we can continue with the webinar. Okay, now let's start with a summary, a general overview of the content of this webinar. The webinar consists of 5 short and concrete sections. Firstly, we will start with a contextual introduction about what is happening in the agri-food sector and how Agrifood 4.0 arrives to our daily life. Then we will continue with some inspiring ideas, advice and examples for adding and creating value to the agri-food customers and understand them better. And then a list of recommendations, 5 top priorities, must-do and top 5 mistakes to avoid, very practical and useful, to bear in mind and to put them into practice easily. And at the end, I will show you 3 videos about 3 real success examples from ICT and agritech SMEs from our ecosystem. Throughout the field story have been changes that have led to a revolution and a transformation in agriculture, such as the use of animals for field work, then the use of tractors and machines to facilitate human effort, and nowadays the use of drones and sensors that they are increasingly being integrated faster and faster in field ecosystems. Nowadays, new technologies are rapidly emerging and are evolutionating field farming and in fact the final customer habits in the next decade. The field is being the protagonist of a historical fact, the consolidation of Agrifood 4.0. In the last 6 years since then, the use of new technologies in agriculture has grown immensely in significance, and there is whispered expectation to revolve the primary sector, dissolve the boundaries between the agriculture and food systems, create new markets for data, as well as showing the importance of creating new global policies. But the question is, how did it all begin? Okay. The farming sector has evolved from the first modern agricultural revolution, which arrived with the beginnings of automatization of agriculture during the 18th century. Since then, the primary sector has evolved firstly slowly, then more rapidly with the introduction of many different innovative processes and technologies, especially after the Second World War with the Green Revolution. Green Revolution is a denomination used internationally to describe the significant increase in agricultural productivity and therefore of food between 18th century and 19th century in the United States and later extended by numerous countries. A series of practices and technologies were adopted, including the sowing of cereal varieties, more resistant to extreme climates and pests, new cultivation methods, as well as the use of fertilizers, pesticides, and new irrigation methods, which made it possible to achieve high productive yields. But then, a new paradigm appears. It is the precision agriculture solutions. This new challenge, it's become with new challenge, adjustment of cultivation practice to needs of the plant, impact reduction linked to agricultural activity, increased competitiveness through great effectiveness of practices, the interest for reducing the environmental impact, new social media aspects, a new approach for quality and safe food. After that, the agri-food supply chain has changed. The agri-food supply chain several years ago, it was traditionally unidirectional model. It means that the final customer is at the end of this chain. Now, with a new concept of supply chain appears with the bioeconomic philosophy, a supply chain with a circular model. It means that the client or the end customer is in the center of decision making, and the value is not lost throughout the process. It is produced based on what the client or customer requests. Thanks to new technologies, the farmer has more access to the market and can produce, customize, and reduce its variable costs. So, what do we face now? We have a new process. Every process of change in the agricultural world reverts as a new demand. Nowadays, there is a new form of consumption. We have a new kind of new end consumer, more hyper-connected, more demanding, more sophisticated, and of course, this new customer encourage the traceability. So this customer is more deep awareness of sustainability and the environment. Firstly, conclusion. What we have? We have a common interest between all agri-food customers. They all want to create a new business model and include new value propositions to increase their revenues. All of them want to reduce their costs, including their resource consumption, and of course, they all want to improve their environmental impact. But how can an ICT company approach them? Now, we are going to understand the agri-food customer. This customer, we have to understand it as entire world. Is a customer really needs all the four primary points. The first one is social and cultural, economical, technical, and commercial. To understand the agri-food customer, it is important to see them as an entire world. It is important to see what farmers are asking for each of these areas and try to align with their needs to better business collaboration. So now we are going to talk about this individual aspect of these individual areas, and we are going to understand them. For that, all track members have done a study and analysis in which we have organized several workshops in the past, and we studied deeply the main Agrifood customer needs. We interrogate experts of the new technologies, actors from the Agrifood sector and research, and we identified the block cases and challenges related to the sector digitalization. The results identified I will show you now. Firstly, we are going to talk about commercial aspects. Here you can see common comments from Agrifood customers when they talk about digitalization. Firstly, for example, lack of a clear and certified advisory system. This often makes to SMEs more difficult their entrance in the new market. The other idea is decision makers in Agrifood companies do not usually value the benefits that their ICT solutions could bring. Other one is Agrifood needs are very different even in the same geographical area or with the same business core. This is a very common worry from the Agrifood customer. Other one, technical experts are not available to give support to agritech providers during the agriculture company. Then we are going to talk specifically in this point. The other one is there is a need to raise awareness among agriculture and agribusiness companies about the importance of addressing digital transformation. And the last one, lack of conversation about international markets. Take into account that Agrifood customers they think in a global way, but finally they act at a local way. Then I will talk more about this. The other area is social and cultural aspects. Agrifood customers are very focused and they have a lot of influences from their social, their cultural, their ecosystem. So the most common comment from this sector is the culture of immediacy. Agriculture companies need a quick return of investment. They need to be sure that the investment in new technologies bring them a return of investment in a short time. The other question is the nature of the farmers do what has always been done, the traditional ways. The age of the customer, Agrifood customer, is different in other sectors. They have a lot of time of their life working in this sector, and they need time to change their way of thinking in new technologies. The other one is the threat of the producer sector slows adoption of technology. Then, the advanced age farmers are break on the technology understanding and use. And the last one, more interesting, has no advantages. Agrifood producers feel reticent about agritech solution adoption and data sharing. The next area is the most demanding or the most worried from Agrifood customers. They have a lot of doubts, they have a lot of comments, and they feel very afraid when they listen about new technologies. For example, inadequate technologies in the ICT market, especially for small farms. Not enough understanding of Agrifood companies in terms of ICT. Demonstration projects are needed. The demonstration effect is fundamental in the agriculture sector. It means that they need to see that new technologies works under real conditions. They need to believe in these new technologies. The next one is technological surveillance tools are needed that allow agribusiness to know the state of the art of technologies of possible applications to their process. Then, the implementation of adoption of a technological solution must be accompanied by an assistance service, training, tailor-made advisory, etc., by the companies who are providing the solution. This is a really important key that we are going to discuss later. In the agricultural field, it is necessary to be able to carry out and have access to pilot projects carried out in real conditions. The results have to be credible. Bear this point in mind. It's really important. Lack of clarity in the value provided by the solution. Huge amount of solution that disperse farmers' attention. Another key point, they have a big ecosystem with a lot of new technology. You have to focus when you talk about your technology in the value add to your Agrifood customer. It's not about technology, it's about the solution. And the final one is the difficult align to the technological solution with the priority of the decision makers of the agriculture companies. And the last area is not at all important than the other one, but is really significant because, of course, in all SMEs, economical aspects are really important. And in this sector, of course, because they have a very low gross margin. The first one is agritech solution probability, an accurate return of investment. This is really important. They need to be sure that they get the benefits as soon as possible when they invest in a new technology. The next one, entrepreneurship, competitors develop their own system. The small SMEs or small Agrifood customers can't compete with big ones, but can to find a key partner in a technology or in a ICT sector. So it would be interesting to discuss later. The next one, lack of financial resource in general. And the last one, lack of regional funding for demonstration projects carried out in the field under real conditions. Okay, now I would like to show you recommendations, specifically recommendations that you can put in practice easily, and it will be very useful for you. First one, I would like to share with you the top 5 priorities, things that you must do, or we recommend you to apply in your daily business. The first one is involve the Agrifood customer. This is a really, really important point because sometimes farmers think individually and they feel that their business is unique. They need to feel that they are in the center of the decision makers because they are from, all schools. So they only believe or they trust, farmers only trust in farming. ICT company is a new person in the daily business, and they usually need to trust. So listen to their specific needs individually. They need to feel that they are special. Other thing is the Agrifood sector is open for adopting ICT solutions. They are not closed. They are waiting for a new technological partner, but of course they need to understand these new technologies. They need to see this technology works under real conditions, and they need to include see that this technological partner is going to the field with them. The other point is Agrifood customers want a specific solution according to their needs or demand. They think, for example, that the chicken line is completely different between the milk line, for example. You don't, ICT SMEs can offer the standard technology for different lines or try to combine them that is different because they feel that their own business is completely different with their competitors. And the other one is be clear, very well defined in the value provided. For managers, sometimes it's quite complicated to know what solutions are the most appropriate for their business. And sometimes they do not even know that there are ICT solutions to solve their problems. So try to combine them, try to explain them, give them time. The next must to do, number 2, is see update on trends Agrifood sector. As I said before, it's really important for agri-food customer their ecosystem. This ecosystem is changing rapidly and constantly. So you need to be updated on trends in agri-food sector. Of course, it's in other sectors, but in agri-food sector especially. Why? Because they have a specific needs, and there are a lot of ICT technologies providing constantly new technologies, and you need to know how is the agri-food sector going. The next one is try to understand and learn to predict agri-food market trends by using information system and market data. The agri-food sector is very seasonal and is changing constantly. Then subject agri-food market needs and revert them in an opportunity for approaching your technologies to the agri-food customer. You can target your customers and you can target, of course, their needs. You can target the needs and you can, your effort could be more precise when you offer your technology or your product. And then having the right information and knowledge is a key success factor when you are looking for new agri-food customers. Then the other recommendation or must to do number 3 is bear always a new customer or strategy in mind. This is really important because the market is very competitive. ICT sector is super saturated. Agri-food customers have a lot of new technology that is their focus. So try to not confuse your possible future agri-food customer and use an appropriate vocabulary to their technological level of understanding. Try to understand that they are they have another kind of thinking, they kind of work daily. So try to adjust your vocabulary to their technological level. Try to talk about the solution, the problem they need, not about your technology. Then generate synergies. Interact with other companies through joint ventures. This is a strategic business collaboration for commercial purpose. This is really important because sometimes at the beginning with a really small agri-food SMEs and really small ICT SMEs, maybe you don't have the resource necessary to create a new individually, to create a new business. So you can work together, get a team, generate synergies. It would be interesting for 1, 2, 3, or 4 years, and then you can separate. But at the beginning, it could be interesting. Be a key partner each other. Then diversify the portfolio of agri-food customers, not at all from the same product or area or from the same cooperative. Sometimes we tend to get our customers from the same place, no, or from the same area, or for the same cooperative. Try to diversify your portfolio. You will assume less risk in the future, of course, and adapt your speech according to your target audience and their needs. They are different, they are unique. Remember, they feel they have needs separately, individually. Master number 4, close relationship. This is really important. They need to trust on you, and they need to see that you are involved in their business at all. Focus on results. There are many solutions available from diverse technological providers. As I said before sometimes, talk about the solution, not about your technology. Talk about the needs, talk about their business, and then about your technology. Build trust. Farmers trust belief in farmers. Agri-food customers are very suspicious. They need to be sure that the information shared with ICT company is safe, completely under confidentially. Between agri-food customers, there are a lot of competitiveness. So they need to trust in ICT technological SMEs when they share their know-how. So I know a lot of cases of these agri-food SMEs that share their know-how with an ICT company, and this ICT company then sell this idea without their permit. So it is completely a good point to take into account. And finally, generate a constant bond of complicity with the Agrifood customer. Have it in the center of decision making. Openness of empathy, go to the field with them. The last one point is master number 5. This is a very important point because you need to bear in mind that you have to support your customer when after you sell them your product. So how you can offer a high quality technical support and training. Firstly, provide ongoing support, training and advice as key drivers of business co-creation and innovation. Be a partner. Then, if it's necessary, include in your staff employees with background experience in agrifood sector, dedicated to develop solutions for this particular sector. It is an interesting point because the agrifood customer can see that you have expertise, you have experience in agrifood sector. Next, use demonstration farms and study visits. This is the most important point because they need to see your solutions, ICT solutions, and the real conditions. They need to see that it works properly. And finally, remember, what is not known is not understood, and what is not understood is not usage. Take your time to explain. Explain as many times as necessary because they want to adapt new technologies, but they need time to understand them. Now, I'm going to introduce you the top 5 mistakes to avoid. First one, disappoint expectation. This is a really important point because some ICT SMEs say that they can do a lot of things, or they can adjust their technologies, or they can do some things, and then it is not. So what customers expect from you depends on their expectation, and you create their expectation. So try to use the correct words and the correct sentence when you explain your technology. If finally they feel that you are wrong or you disappoint them, it is a very, very difficult to get their trust again. So now know as deep as possible the agrifood sector and your customer particularly to satisfy their expectations and real needs. The next mistake, number 2, is offer an out-of-market price. Sometimes we tend to offer a product and we overprice it because we say that it is the best technology in the market, or because we say that we spend a lot of time developing it, but try to think that agrifood customers have a very narrow gross margin. So they need to be sure at the beginning of the process that their investment will be returned in the future. So try to calculate at the beginning this return on investment and be real with this calculation. They need to adjust their price. So try to offer this return on investment with real conditions and with real data. In agrifood sector is very important, this point. The next one is mistake number 3. Do not study the competition. Of course, in every sector, you have to study your competition. But in this especially, why? Because there are a saturated market of technological services and products, and you have to take into account what your competitors are doing or what is development, and you have to, not with the intention to copy others, but with intention to overcoming them. The next mistake is number 4, do not reduce the product to the specific needs of the Agrifood customer. As I said before, it's very similar. Each farmer needs a tailor-made product. It is difficult to sell a standard product in Agrifood markets. They fit unique individually and they need a specific technology for their business. Then it is necessary to review and update continuously the characteristics and functionalities of these technologies offered and adapt them according to the competing ICT companies. Try not to sell your standard technology, or try to make the effort to understand, if it's necessary, change some issues in your technology. It will be better with create a close relationship in the future with your Agrifood customer, and maybe it will demand or will ask you for more new technologies in the future. And then Agrifood customers tend to think globally, but finally they always act locally. Nowadays we try to be more globally companies, but finally Agrifood customer or Agrifood sector is more a local sector. So try to understand, try to study deeply the local Agrifood market of your complete Agrifood customer. And the last one, ignore Agrifood customer limitation. This is important because you could be more information or more better relationship with your Agrifood customer if you ask them for their previous experience. Maybe you realize when they told you that they have experience or they introduced some time ago a new technology, or and they had a good experience or bad experience, you can change that. So try to talk about them, about their past experience, and talk about them about what they want to do, or what they are, what they can to do now. Maybe they have a little bit knowledge about technologies, and they want to introduce new technologies similar that you want. So ask with them and try to measure the level of knowledge that they have or need in new technologies for a best service in the future. Okay, thank you, Don. Now I'm going to share with you 3 videos from the 3 real success cases examples from our ecosystem. There are 3 Spanish companies, ICT and agrotech companies, that they approached their business into the Agrifood market.
My name is Jorge Martinez. I'm the product manager of Agroplanning. Agroplanning was born as a startup in 2016, formed by agricultural engineers and professors from the universities of Sevilla and Córdoba, who, with a mixture of youth and experience and a clear desire to generate a connected agricultural system, faced the challenge of promoting the adoption of digital technologies in the Andalusian agricultural sector. However, unlike other companies dedicated to crop sensing, in Agroplanning we put all our effort and experience in providing connectivity to an element that is present in mostly all of the farms, the tractor. In this way, we developed a complete device that can be mounted on any agricultural vehicle, regardless the brand, the manufacturing year or the model, and makes it a connected vehicle ready to monitor the demanding agricultural tasks. This IoT hardware, created entirely by our engineers, sends data on telemetry, location, productivity, tasks that are being performed, and consumption in real time to our platform. This online platform is the heart of Agroplanning, where the user can view and manage their entire fleet of vehicles from any device, get simple and intuitive information that previously had to manage with effort, and generate automatic productivity reports on which to base the decision-making process. All this allows the Agroplanning user to generate considerable savings that we are quantified at up to 30% in the daily management of a farm. Complementary, the management of a fleet of a medium size through our platform can generate savings in inputs and fuel of up to 50%. Even more relevant is the extended traceability that can be made possible by our platform. Until now, the consumer was able to obtain only the traceability of the food from the industry to the supermarket. Now, with agri-planning, we are able to extend this traceability much further back in the chain, since we have information on what happened on the field and what products have been applied to the food that is being produced, reaching a digital traceability that can undoubtedly be an important differential value to our customers. While companies in the agri-food sector are particularly concerned about the reliability and quality of our products. But in our case, dedicated to the connectivity of agricultural machinery is in many cases an unexplored territory for them. And we must demonstrate the proper functioning of electronic or informatic systems. And to ensure their confidence, in many cases, we have used demonstrative equipment for farmers or big companies. But what companies really want is for our service to have a direct impact on their financial results. So making them more competitive at the time when the sector must differentiate between them, it's key for this successful adoption within the sector. We have a case of success in a large company in the sector of producing berries and other red fruits, in which the management of more than 100 vehicles was done in the traditional way with a pencil and a paper. And we have helped them to digitalize and connect the agricultural machinery in their fleet, and this has allowed them to build the hours of work and know the productivity of their machineries and workers in a simple and comfortable way, and they are very satisfied with us that this is making us a reference in the sector of this fleet management here in the Andalusian region. For the confidence of our customers, first and foremost, trust is shown in everyday life. With a system that really works with experience in the ICT sector, with more than 315 examples of vehicles connected and working so many hours in the field. And in order to build this customer loyalty, we look for direct contact with a good technical service and the ability of and availability to resolve the customer requires every day at 24 hours per day. And about the technology and solutions that are most demanded to our company, at the moment there is a particular interest in modular platforms integrating several layers of information from sources such as IoT connected machinery, satellite crop management, tracking of monitoring of the crops, and machine learning based service for data analysis. But luckily in agri-planning we have this possibility to be a modular platform and to integrate all these sources of information and unify them into a single powerful and reliable service that the users can afford in a monthly payment.
Hello, my name is Blaine. I am PhD in biology and CEO of Global Olive Consulting. Global Olive Consulting is a small medium enterprise and was created in 2005, and we are the only technological consultants in the world that specializes in providing comprehensive consultant service to the table olive industry. The service we supply are industrial process control, production, optimization, environmental improvement, research and development projects, and training course. Our principal goal has been to develop tele-delivery system. Tele-delivery system is composed by ICT tools, including a communication module for collecting data, own and specific software available in the cloud, an app and a web platform that allows to monitor in an objective way 100% of the table olive value chain production process. Global Olive Consulting has implemented tailor labor system in more than 50 companies in Spain, Greece, Argentina, and Peru. Currently, we oversees the production of 70,000 tons of table olive and counting 2.5% of the world production. The principal key factor to convince an agri-food company is first, a complete knowledge of the production process, and second, and more important, to inspire confidence through constant accompaniment. The millennium table olive industry has always been based on the subjectivity of the technicians in charge of making all the decisions. A method that over the years has resulted in significant economic losses and serious environmental problems. Currently, the sector faces several problems such as the lack of objectivity in the process, environmental impact, high production costs, very local sector of activity, and unskilled employment. Thanks to our tailor labor system, we have proved to this traditional industry that the method they were using to produce table olive can be improved with just a simple mobile phone, giving them objective data about the process. All this transformation has generated not only a new way of working, but an improvement in the quality of the table olive they produce.
My name is Gonzalo Martin. I am the Managing Director of Hispatec Analytics, an intelligence service provider for the Agrifood chain, part of the Hispatec Group. The Hispatec Group was founded in Almeria, Spain in 1985. We provide two main products or services. One is the technological suite to help agri-food players to manage their operations from the seed, the fields, to the factory, logistics and commercialization. And at the other hand, through Hispatec Analytics, we provide information and decision support services for the whole agri-food network. We help our customers to improve their decisions in the pre-harvest processes, also in the post-harvest processes. For example, we generate or we create artificial intelligence models to forecast harvest, not only during the season, but also for a whole year for the budget purpose, for the budget planning. Also, we help them to forecast sales, orders, market opportunities, to analyze their inefficiency and to help them at the end of the day to improve the decisions where the profit are most important, or where the profit is basis. Our group works more than 150 people all around the world. We are agronomists, economists, big data engineers, software engineers, also data scientists. We have customers and office and professionals in Chile, in Peru, in Mexico, also in Spain and Portugal, and also customers we have in Brazil, we have in North Africa, South Europe, Japan. Our main add value is to help all the agri-food stakeholders to manage their operations through our farm resource or agri-food resource suite, and at the other hand to help them to make better decisions with analytical services and intelligence services. The key factors to convince an agri-food company to invest in technology, in IT, is that there is no way you can manage a business without control, without data, without information. And in the agri-food sector, that means also traceability. So you need some kind of software, IT suite, technological solution to manage and operate your business. So the first thing is, if you want to be on the market, not even being competitive, on the market, just you need to invest in a sort of software to manage your business. When you grow, when your business grow, you will need to improve that solution. That solution have to grow at the same time that your business grow. So for us and our vision, the key factors for an agri-food entity to invest in technology is that if you don't have measures or data, you are not making the best decisions. The first thing you have to do is to invest to digitalize your business, your operations, no matter your size, no matter what is the crop or the market where you sell. One of our success cases in the decisional support systems is, for example, we have customers that they have a sales program. So they are tied to their customers with a production program with a certain quality of the products that they grow. And in order to manage to plan resources, seeds, irrigation plants, fertilization, nutrition, also the crop protection programs, and not only the things that happens on the field, but also all the resources that they need to harvest, the machinery, people, and the resources they need to transform that product that they harvest into their final product. For all of that kind of management and planning, everybody makes estimations. They make harvest estimation, harvest forecast. The key of success is to decrease the error on those forecasts, harvest forecasts, and the resources that are linked to the harvest operation. So, one of our success stories is to develop customized harvest algorithms to forecast for 4 weeks in vegetables, but also for a whole year ahead. So we're able to reduce more than 20% of the error that the regular or average forecast have. So we are helping our customers to plan better, to just prepare the resources that they need for the production that they will have. And we are helping them through this improvement of the harvest forecast in save a lot of money, in reduce the waste of water, chemicals, also time, machinery, and all the resources that are, as I said, that are linked to the production, to the field production, the pre-harvest. Another use case or success story is how we help customers to decrease the waste of time and products in the transformation on the factories when they are preparing the products for the orders or the sales. Usually, all the factory capacity of production is not equal to the sales close or order close. So there is dysfunction. So they estimate, at the factory level, they estimate which orders will come today. And they have errors. They miss that kind of estimation to forecast. And missing that kind of estimation means lose money immediately. So we are helping them and also giving them savings in that kind of operations, in the post-harvest operation, is into forecast the sales and the orders. And we use the markets, the final markets, whether if there are holidays or not, the market trends, also the volatility of the different kind of economics insights, variables that affects the currencies, the new laws. A lot of things are on those kind of artificial intelligence models in order to forecast better the sales and the pre-orders that the factory, the food factory has. There is only one way to earn the loyalty of our customers and the trustworthy. It's to be there for them and to provide service. We don't provide solutions. We just provide services in a long-term relationships. So when we came, the first thing is to not talk about technology, not talk about data, not talk about that kind of IoT sensor or remote sensing. What we talk about is, okay, what are the decisions that you make every day? Where is the money for you? And from that point of view, we analyze the data and the information that they use for that kind of information, and we calculate how much money are they wasting in the errors when they estimate or they make decisions. And from that point, we go down until, okay, what kind of data do you have? What kind of technology do you have that is generating data? So the first thing to earn the trustworthy is that we focus the business not from a technological point of view, but from an economic point of view, from an agribusiness point of view. And we don't talk about technology. The technology is not the final goal. It's just the path. And it's something that we need for something. And that something is to improve the business decision, the agribusiness decisions in this sector. So, as I said, for us to earn trustworthy loyalty, talk about agribusiness, not technology. The second thing, to be there. We are our customers' information data partners. We are not a technology provider. And so we adapt the technology, the solutions to the decisions, to the reality. So a long-term relationship, partnership relationship, are talking about what an agri-food business is. That is business, economics, incomes, cost, profits. In our case, the most demanded technology for agri-food companies, well, we have two approaches. One is the Farm Research Suite, or IRP. So obviously, this is one we approach the market. So it's everybody needs one from a certain size of company. So this is the most the solution that the customers look for. And on the other hand, from the analytics and information service, they don't ask for technology. They ask for solutions. They need to make decisions, better decisions, and to improve, be more efficient. So, as I said, it's not about technology. They don't talk about technology. They talk about solutions. But if we link the solutions to technology, the most is probably IoT for the field decisions, but from the management point of view or the whole business point of view, should be artificial intelligence and decision support systems.
We have in time now, so it's 10 o'clock. So I will send you the videos by email and of course the presentation. Sorry for the inconvenience, for the technical problem. If you have any questions or you can to solve, you can turn off your microphone. Firstly, I would like to remember you that the next class webinar will be next week on 31. So if you are interested in joining the next webinar, you can email us and I will send you the flyer to register. We are really pleased to share with you our next webinar. It will be broadcasted by Cluster Agrifood from Italy, and they are going to talk about the ecosystem of technologies in agriculture. So to conclude, thank you all very much for your attention. Please remember that if you want to ask me something directly or if you want this presentation and videos, you can email me and I will send you anyway. And of course, your turn for questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think no questions. Alvaro, do you have a question?
Hello?
Hello?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So we are a startup in the field of information communication technology for agribusiness. And we would like to we have further questions, so not really questions for now, but for later. We have our business model about getting on the market, and we kind of would like to discuss on that project, but later on, not now. Can we do this?
Okay, perfect. We can arrange a meeting separately, and we can talk if you want deeply about your business. So I keep you in mind. I will send you the presentation, and then we keep in touch with this meeting, online meeting.
Okay, I assume that we will get this presentation in I don't know. A file with this presentation. Is this possible? Will we get this presentation?
Yeah, I will send you, all the participants, I will send you the presentation.
Great.
Later.
That's it. No further questions. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Sam, any questions?
No, for me. I don't have more questions. Well, another question here. As I said, I think we have like 20 questions on this, but can we establish like we would like to know more about the Spanish service providers for agribusiness. Can we have one-on-one meetings? So we are a Romanian service provider, and we would like to discuss with the Spanish providers. Can this be done later on?
Okay.
Or?
We can talk more completely about this in our meeting if you want. And I want to introduce you our market and our businesses here in Spain, and we can talk more deeply about it in our meeting. Yeah. And Any question about the webinar or for next connections?
No.
Okay. Okay, Christian, I can see your email in my main list.
Yeah, well,
Can you write your email in the chat window?
Yes, I'm writing right now.
Okay.
There would be a lot of technical questions. We have made a market research, and I think you have talked about all of the key points that we are interested in, and yeah, further question would be great for the discussion.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I know your business. You apply to track training, no? You know, yeah. Felix and Diana from Romania.
Yes.
Yeah,
the one, yeah.
Okay,
so we are specialized on milk and also meat cattle farms, and we are moving towards. They are cultivating their fields, and we are moving towards field cultures, agricultures. Yeah, field crops.
It sounds really interesting. Yeah, we keep in touch for our next.
Yeah, and what the questions in a short way. So I'm a software developer myself, and would be really interested to see the gains that the Spanish software companies provide to their clients. So through big data, machine learning, and the other stuff, other technologies, trends. So, but further on another meeting.
Okay, thank you, Christian. Very interesting. We keep in touch and talk in our next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. So everybody, I think there are no more questions. So thank you very much again for your participation. We keep in touch, and I hope to see you soon in the next track webinar. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Everybody.
You're welcome.